Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
I just will do everything that I can to make sure that no one is buried and allowed to be forgotten.
An unclaimed veteran has been laid to rest with military rights and honors. Close to 100 people gathered this morning at the Fargo National Cemetery. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie shows you how they paid tribute at this fallen hero's service.
Our veterans give a lot to this country, sometimes paying the ultimate sacrifice. Receiving military honors when they pass is something that is earned.
We owe it to them to pay some honor to them.
4 years later, veterans and community members are paying tribute to a local fallen hero's service. Francis L. Kaufman died alone in December of 2016 in a Fargo hospital at the age of 88. When a local funeral home director called the VA, they tracked down and verified his military records. Kaufman served in the Marine Corps from 1946 to 1948.
No one should ever be forgotten, and if that's something that I can provide my veteran community, I feel that it's important.
3 volleys, playing of the taps, and the flag folding, something Nicole Guterjohn says all veterans deserve.
Everyone showed up and supported it. It's amazing.
Kaufman was buried with his wife, who died before him. Veterans presented the flag to Allison Webster, who works hard to make sure soldiers like Kaufman aren't forgotten.
It's very humbling, I'd come out just to pay honor to our veteran who had passed away.
Only 50 people were allowed inside for the service because of the pandemic, but many more gathered outside of the gates.
The gratitude that I have for my community supporting what we are doing here, that's priceless to me.
Kaufman is the second unclaimed veteran to be buried at the cemetery, which was dedicated last September. So far, about 350 veterans have been laid to rest here. In Harwood, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
Last week, a couple hundred people turned out to pay their respects to unclaimed Vietnam veteran Leland Deer, who was also buried at the Fargo National Cemetery. He died in December of last year. Let's turn our attention now to the weather, which will be warming, and that's always a good thing to hear, especially this time of year. Let's get the very latest on tonight's temps from our chief meteorologist, Hutch Johnson. Hutch?
Mike, thanks so much. It was a very frigid start to our day. 4 degrees in Elbow Lake, 10 in Fergus Falls, and 11 here in the FM area. And tonight we have warmer air punching in, but as we mentioned yesterday, some growing pains along with that. We do have some showers of snow moving through the Red River Valley, some showing up right over us here in Fargo and down into the Cheyenne River Valley, southwest of us. The wind is more the story because most of those showers of snow not actually reaching the ground. We have gusts over 30 miles per hour from the south, and look at that sunset about to take place. Look at this. Steady temperatures to slowly rising here in Fargo. It looks breezy throughout. Grand Forks, similarly, we're going to see some mid-30s. Notice the big difference in how much snow is on the ground there on the dike in East Grand Forks heading into your evening. Now, it does look warmer, but Hutch says more growing pains on the way as well. Mike, I'll spell all of that out here in just a minute.
All right, look forward to that. Thanks, Hutch. The search continues tonight for a missing runaway who's been gone for a couple of weeks. Her name is Hannah Abrahamson. She's 14 years old. She left home on October 11th. She's 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighs about 150 pounds, has brown eyes and brownish colored hair. Now, if you have any information, call police in Devil's Lake. Their phone number is on your screen, 701-662-0700. New tonight at 6, the search is on for a car that was involved in a hit and run this afternoon in South Fargo. We're told the driver lost control, jumped the curb, and hit the front of the Midwest Appliances building along 45th Street South.
Yeah, well, we didn't think about starting a new drive-in and carry service, but I think we can get the door rectified and, closed so that customers are going to be able to come in and out freely.
Damage was limited to the frame of the door. No one inside was injured. Although witnesses say the car took off northbound, we're still waiting for a description of the car. A 29-year-old man is in jail tonight accused of stealing a car. Authorities responded to several reports of a stolen vehicle late last night in Dilworth. Investigators say the vehicle was being tracked by GPS near Argusville, North Dakota. They found the vehicle driving southbound on County Road 81 between Argusville and Harwood. Marcos Garza was arrested on multiple charges, and the vehicle was returned to the owner. A 67-year-old Minnesota man has passed away. Danny Lee Betcher's obituary says he passed away unexpectedly at his home in New York Mills of natural causes on October 20th. The obituary goes on to say, although his life may be best described as wayward, Danny would help anyone with anything and deep down had a heart of gold. Betcher was known for being Minnesota's most notorious drunk driver with at least 28 DWI arrests. Another protester will be charged in federal court in connection to the riots in downtown Fargo on May 30th. Abdimanan Habib was indicted for civil disorder. Authorities say he did knowingly commit and attempt to commit an act to obstruct, impede, and interfere with any fireman or law enforcement officer. Officers say that Habib was seen picking up a bottle that had a white object sticking out of it, lighting it on fire, and throwing the bottle toward the police line. A man accused of killing his ex-girlfriend and starting a fire to cover it up is slated to go on trial in March. 44-year-old Sheldon Davis is charged with murder, arson, and endangering by fire in the death of 52-year-old Denise Anderson. She died in August of 2019. Authorities say that Davis told a friend that he had done something bad. The friend says Davis talked about wanting to kill Denise because of pending domestic and sexual assault charges that she filed against him. Election day is nearing and more than 64 million Americans have already voted, some of which are going back on who they want to win for president. Can I change my vote is strongly trending on Google, which has jumped nearly 500% between Monday and Tuesday in the United States, this according to an article by Newsweek. Minnesota officials say as long as your absentee ballot wasn't counted by election officials, you could have cast a ballot for another opponent in person by voting in your polling place 2 weeks before the election. By October 20th, you would have had to cancel your ballot, contact the local election office, and submit a new mail-in ballot.
With the proliferation of information and rumor, I can see it being both good and bad.
Officials in Clay County say just one person has changed their vote so far. For more on polling locations and what times you can vote, go to our VNL News app and look for this story. Later on Valley News Live at 6, details on a popular Halloween event in the Northern Valley being put on hold.
Windy and wintry weather across the valley. Thanks so much for uploading all of your photos of wildlife during our wild stretch of weather. Who forecast all this? Well, there's more to contend with. Details coming up.